Hello and welcome back. I am so sorry that this entire video has to be a voiceover, but if you follow me on Snapchat, you know that there is some construction going on around my apartment, making it impossible to film with sound. But anyway, this tutorial is going to be on how to get a perfect winged liner and red lip using the Gwen Stefani Urban Decay collection. And I'm also going to be going over how to find your perfect shade of red lipstick. So I'm going to jump right into it by priming my skin with the Natasha Denona Hydrating Underbase. I'm using this guy because I am going to be using the NARS Velvet Matte Skin Tint, and my skin is more towards the dry side, so I need some extra hydration, which that primer definitely gives your skin. And I'm applying the skin tint with my fingers and then blending it out with a beauty blender. I'm using the shade Groenland. To conceal and brighten certain areas of my face, like underneath the eyes and around the nose, I'm using Bye Bye Under Eye from IT Cosmetics in the shade Neutral Medium. And in this tutorial, I'm actually warming it up on the back of my hand first and then directly applying it to the skin with a beauty blender. I feel like in my previous tutorial, I was being a little rough when applying the concealer to my under eye area, and you don't want that, especially when the eyes are super sensitive. I'm also applying the concealer to the lids to even them out. Next, I'm going in with the Natasha Denona Cream Highlighter and a ZOEVA 110 brush. I'm going to apply this to the lids because I'm not going to be adding any color. I just want to create the effect of a really shiny, glossy lid. And because I now have concealer and a cream highlighter on my lids, I'm going to be setting them with powder. I'm using the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder, and I'm using my damp beauty blender to just press it into the skin, especially into the areas that will crease up. I'm also going to be applying the powder to other areas of my face that I don't want to be too shiny or that will also crease up, like around the nose, underneath the eyes, center of the forehead, and around the mouth. I'm going to be filling in my eyebrows with IT Cosmetics Brow Power Super Skinny Brow Pencil in the shade Universal Medium Brown. I love this guy because of the amount of ashiness in the color. It's not too warm and it really suits my hair color and brow color. And for some reason it ends up looking a lot more natural on my brows. And then after you're done applying the brow pencil, don't forget to brush it out before you move on so that it gives it a really natural look. Once I'm done filling in my brows, as always, I'm going in with my Anastasia Clear Brow Gel to set my brows in place. I'm going to be using my beautiful Gwen Stefani blush palette to brighten up the eyes. So I'm taking an Anastasia A23 brush and the shade Angel and just brushing it onto the lids to give an even shinier, glossier look to the eyes. It's really going to make the black winged liner pop. For the winged liner, I'm going to be using ColourPop's gel liner in Swerve and my absolute favorite, hands down, go-to eyeliner brush from NARS. It's the number 47 angled eyeliner brush. And I'm starting off by creating the flick first. So pretend like you're extending the waterline. And then I'm dragging it back in to really complete the wing. And then I'm going to go and flip the brush around so that with right now the pointed part is facing towards the ear, but then you're going to flip it the other way around to fill in the area closest to the tear duct, because you want it to go thin to thick. So flipping that brush in that direction is going to make sure that it's thinnest near the tear duct. And I'm not picking up any more product at this point. I'm just trying to even it out. And then at the very end, to just really extend the wing and make sure it has that perfect sharp tip, I'm taking the very tip, so the pointed part of the brush, and extending the eyeliner further out towards the brow. I went ahead and did the other side off camera to save some time, and let's be real, it's also the more difficult side, so I decided to do it off camera. And now I'm going to go in with some mascara. I'm using the IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara before applying some false lashes. I'm going to be using my Velour lashes in the style Lash in the City. Sorry, they're not in the box. I already had them on my eyes. So I'm just going to be using the Clear Duo Lash Glue because I like my liner really, really thin towards the inner part of the eye, and if I use black glue, it can get messy. And that pretty much sums up the eyes. I'm going to be adding some final touches later, but this is seriously a super easy, super clean eye look. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of the complexion. I'm going to start off by bronzing and contouring using the Makeup Forever Pro Bronze Fusion in the shade 20M and a Smith 118 brush. To contour the nose, I switched over to a smaller Smith 232 brush, but I'm still using that same bronzer. And now I'm going to go back into my Gwen Stefani blush palette. I'm using that same highlighter that I used on the lids. It's the shade Angel. And keep in mind that when I'm showing the palette, I'm actually holding it upside down, so don't get the colors confused. And I'm just using a Smith 112 brush to apply that highlighter to the high points of my face. I would consider her blush palette to be more of a highlighter palette. There's not too many blush tones in it. They're more so highlighters, and they're very finely milled, which is why I decided to inhale the powder and choke on it and almost die. However, I am going to be using the shade Easy. It's a really soft raspberry toned blush on the cheeks, and it is a high shine shimmery blush. That's why I am saying that most of these are more so highlighters. So if you don't like a shimmery blush and you like more of that matte look, this palette is probably not for you guys. So now I'm just taking a large fluffy face brush and softly blending all the products on my face together to give a really well blended look to the skin. Like I mentioned earlier, now I'm just going back and putting the final touches on the eyes. So I'm applying that same IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara to the lower lashes. And I'm going to use a super teeny tiny precision eyeliner brush. This guy here is a Smith 202 brush, and I'm using that same Swerve gel eyeliner from ColourPop to cover up any glue that might be showing on the eyeliner and on the band of the lashes. And I'm again going to dip into that Angel highlighter from the Gwen Stefani blush palette one last time with a Smith 253 brush to highlight the inner corners of the eyes. Alright guys, next comes the tricky part, finding your perfect shade of red lipstick. The general rule is that if you are fair and blonde, you should wear a warm toned red lipstick, and if you're towards the darker side and brunette, you should go for a cool toned red lipstick. But honestly, I believe in the idea that there are no rules to makeup, so if you find a red lipstick and it looks bomb on you, then you should be able to wear it. Don't feel like you ever have to follow any sort of rule, but this is just a general guideline if you guys have trouble finding a good red lipstick. Normally, I would go for Rocksteady, but I decided to use Wonderland just because it was such a bright, perfect shade of true red. So I'm using the lip liner first, and before I go with the lipstick, I'm going to use a Smith 212 brush and my Make It Forever foundation stick to clean up the edges of the lip liner. This is going to give us a really crisp, sharp looking red lipstick. And then once I've cleaned up the edges, I'll blend it out with a beauty blender, and then I can go in with the lipstick. That completes this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful as always. If you like this tutorial, make sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe so I see you in the next one. Bye guys. My god, I got my eyeliner perfect in like one sweep. It's a miracle.
In your what?
I said I got my eyeliner perfect in one sweep. It's a miracle.
Are you filming it?
Yeah. If it wasn't filming at that moment, I would have been pissed. Peace.